Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Thursday. I'm Justin Gould. Here's what's happening. The Jamestown Board of Public Utilities is moving forward with a second attempt to annex a substation in the village of Falconer. Plus, police are investigating a fatal fire in parts of Allegheny County. The search for a suspect is on. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, he's live with a look at our weather. Hey, Dakota, happy Thursday to you.
Hey, Justin, and happy Thursday, everybody. And the winds is going to become a factor throughout the day. It's not so bad today out at the Mill Creek Mall down in Erie. You can see traffic flowing okay over Peach Street. 44 right now with that south wind of 8, but that wind will be kicking up as we go throughout the day. On the radar with the satellite data on here, there's a few rain showers starting to creep into Erie and Crawford counties, Pennsylvania, and these are going to be sweeping to the northeast. So there is a chance for a spotty rain shower or maybe a spotty snow flurry through the afternoon. But the more rain comes tonight and then lasting through the day tomorrow, here it is hour by hour. Temperatures actually, we're kind of holding the temperatures down a little bit. I know that we had a few days ago, we had this up into the mid 40s. We've kind of knocked it down to the lower 40s today. We kind of think with the cloud cover around and the approaching of the rain and the cold front, that'll keep us from warming up that warm. But hey, we'll be in the 40s. That's not too bad, but temperatures plummet like a rock tomorrow. We'll talk about it later in the show. Justin?
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you very much. Our top story, the Jamestown Board of Public Utilities unanimously voted to make a second attempt to annex the Dow Street substation last night. Now, the vote took place following a private session about the case. The first attempt failed after Rochester's Supreme Court Fourth Appellate Division denied the city of Jamestown's petition to annex. BPU officials say the proposed annexation would save the utility approximately $173,000 in property tax payments to the town, village, and school district annually. Now, the city and Jamestown Public School District each would receive a tax equivalency payment of around $80,000 a year from the utility. The substation sits on the property in the town of Ellicott and village of Falconer on Dow Street between Tiffany Avenue and south of East 2nd Street. Well, New York State Police are looking for a teen in connection with a fatal fire in Allegheny County this morning. Troopers say 17-year-old William Larson Jr. of Clarksville is wanted for questioning. Police say he was identified on the scene while the fire was being extinguished and left the location prior to their arrival. Larson is 5'9" with brown hair and blue eyes. If located, police say do not approach, but rather contact them at 585-344-6200. I'll read it again. It's 585-344-6200. Two bodies were found in the home at the Courtney Hollow Road early Thursday morning. The Portville, Bolivar, Richburg, and Cuba Rushford school districts closed out of precaution today. Police in Cuba and Clarksville advised their residents there to stay indoors and not answer their door early this morning. Well, a divided U.S. committee approved a proposal yesterday to decriminalize and tax marijuana at the federal level, a vote that was alternatively described as monumentous in regards to a turning point in the national cannabis policy or a hollow political gesture. The House Judiciary Committee approved the proposal 24-10 after more than 2 hours of debate. It would reverse a longtime standing federal prohibition by removing marijuana from the Controlled Substance Act while allowing the states to set their own rules on pot. The vote comes at a time when most Americans live in states where marijuana is legal in some form or another. And committee members from both parties agreed that a national cannabis policy should come to a vote. The divide has created a host of problems. Loans and other banking services, for example, are hard to get for many marijuana companies because pot remains illegal at the federal level. However, the bill's future is uncertain. It wasn't immediately clear if the proposal would be revised by other committees when or if a vote would take place in the full House. We'll keep you updated. Well, 2 new fire trucks in the city of Jamestown and officials plan to buy will be safer for firefighters and more efficient to use. Jamestown Fire Chief Sam Saleme says currently crews could become sick from toxic chemicals that fall off their suits. The new clean cab concept would help reduce that contamination.
All of this is going to be washable. We actually can take a garden hose, flush all that out. The seats are designed to have removable covers on them. We can take those out, throw them in the washer, and take the reserve seats, or excuse me, a second set of fabric, put over the seats, and the guys are set to go.
Now, the new trucks will also sport lower crossways and hose beds for loading and deploying hose, rescue ladders in an inside compartment to keep them out of the rain, ice, and snow, increased fire apparatus storage, and space for 4 additional air bottles. Saleme says his crews are excited to get the new equipment and got the chance to play a role in the design process. Now, once the bid is complete, the new trucks should be in service by spring of 2021. They are expected to cost the city around $480,000 each. Additionally, the current ladder truck and fire engine will be refurbished. Now, when the new trucks are in service, some of the city's older equipment will be retired while the current apparatus will go into a reserve storage. Well, hopefully everyone is having a great day. Thanks so much for joining us here on WNY News Now on this Thursday. Hello to Renee. Hopefully you are doing well. She chimes in about the firefighter story. She says, oh, that's great for the firemen, but they're happy with their new trucks. Certainly great news. Hello to David. Hello to Joe as well. Thanks so much for joining us here on the broadcast. Good to see Jesse. Garrett, haven't seen you in a while. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hopefully you are having a good day out there, and good to see Pam too. Hopefully you are having a nice day. Coming up, we have a lot more to tell you about this half hour. Straight ahead, important news about a pretty big E. coli outbreak. But first, New York's health department says another person has died from a vaping-related illness. Dakota.
And the high yesterday was 37 degrees, 28 was the low this morning, 73 and 8 are in the record books for today. But hang on to those hats. The wind really picks up through the afternoon, and especially tomorrow morning. We'll break it all down as WNY News Now continues in a minute. Don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Well, happening now, New York's Department of Health has declared the state's second death linked to a vaping-associated illness. The person who died was a man in his 30s from Manhattan with a record history of using e-cigarettes and vapor products. The first death was on October 4th when a 17-year-old boy from the Bronx passed away. The state says the teen has been hospitalized in early September for a respiratory illness related to vaping. Well, the CDC says at least 17 people have been infected by E. coli in 8 states. 7 people have been hospitalized because of the infection. 2 of the hospitalized patients developed a type of kidney failure associated with the disease. No deaths have been reported. E. coli bacteria produces a toxin that causes symptoms such as bloody diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach cramps, typically within several days of swallowing the bug. Usually, this is resolved within a week, but sometimes it can get worse and last much longer. The CDC is investigating products that may have connected to the outbreak. Well, if you've spent your Halloween night watching scary movies on television, you may have heard the sounds of jingle bells or Christmas carols during those commercial breaks. For many reluctant holiday shoppers, no monster movie is as scary as The Christmas Creep. But for others, the festive ads and decor serve as additional motivation to get out and get that holiday shopping started early. Steve Nannis explains in today's Consumer Watch.
For many people, decking the halls while the jack-o'-lanterns are still lit is unthinkable.
Back in, October, it was a little weird.
But for some earnest holiday shoppers, it's never too early to get in the spirit.
We just bought some stuff for Christmas, and they were running like pre-Christmas sale or like pre-Black Friday sale, which I bought quite a few presents.
In fact, according to the National Retail Federation, about 40% of consumers actually begin their holiday shopping before Halloween, and retailers are responding.
Retailers have started offering, many of them have started offering promotions earlier in the season, some as early as Halloween.
For retailers, there's good reason for the so-called Christmas creep.
A longer shopping season gives consumers more time. It gives them time to browse and find the items they really want.
More enthusiasm around shopping translates into more spending. The NRF forecasts holiday retail sales to hit nearly $730 billion over November and December. Yet even with the Christmas creep, the 5 days between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday will still be some of the busiest shopping days of the year.
NRF is projecting an estimated more than 114 million consumers will shop on Black Friday, and that's still the biggest shopping day out of that entire weekend.
But whether you're an early bird or a strict after Turkey Day traditionalist, the holiday shopping clock is already ticking. For Consumer Watch, I'm Steve Nannis.
Alrighty, Steve. Well, thank you very much. Certainly, I'm sure everyone is out there trying to get Christmas gifts. I don't know if Halloween's quite the time, but if you think about it, it really was just Halloween. And for myself, I've already bought a couple of gifts. So it keeps creeping up to us. Anyways, just in time for Thanksgiving, which we remind you is the holiday that comes before Christmas, Green Giant has cooked up a giant green bean casserole. Take a look. The dish weighed in on Wednesday at a whopping 1,009 pounds. Now, that was enough to set a new Guinness World Record for the largest serving of a green bean casserole. Now, a team of chefs used more than 1,000 cans of green beans, 485 cans of mushroom soup, 65 quarts of milk, and 95 pounds of French onions, and it took them a total of 8 hours to prepare and cook this meal fit for a king. The casserole will be served to 3,000 elderly New Yorkers through city meals. So at least it's going to certainly a good cause, and that's big. That's big. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of green bean casserole as it is, so I don't know if I would want to be part of that giant casserole. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Wendy C says yummy. Okay, good, Wendy. You can have it. Renee, she says, I think it's too much for Christmas already. How sad how retailers have made it. And it does seem like a lot of times, Wendy, retailers make it all about buying, right? Buy. But really, the holidays are about your family and spending time with them. Hello to Cindy Mount. Thanks so much for joining us on the broadcast. Hopefully you are going well. And she says, yeah. And she says, indeed, as I said there in the story, it all is all going to shelters. So it's pretty good. Joey says, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right for green beans. Coming up next, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He joins us with a live look at our weather forecast. And later, you don't want to miss this one, how educators at Falconer Central School are working to combat bullying and teen suicide. That when WNY News Now returns. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Located on the corner of Forest and Newland Avenues in Jamestown, Pronto Mart has everything you've been looking for. An amazing selection of hot foods, a large variety of premier headgear, and smoking accessories to fit any style. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Stop in and visit us today.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Green bean casserole? Ugh. 37 is where we were living yesterday, 44 in Dunkirk and 45 over in Erie. This is still below average. We should be into the mid to upper 40s this time of the year, but hang on. I think we're actually going to get there a little bit later on. Here's the news now, Cam. This is a live picture. I know it looks the same as it has been the past several days, but it's the exact same picture. We've just had a lot of clouds around, and that's very common for this time of the year. 38 at noon hour with a south wind at 12. We got a dew point at 32, and the wind chill is down to 30. When you combine the wind speed and the air temperature together, you got your wind chill number, so it's feeling below freezing. Bigger story is going to be the winds. The winds are going to be cranking up as we go throughout the afternoon today, out ahead of a potent cold front that's going to be moving on through. So the winds through the afternoon, not bad. It's really going to be tonight and then early tomorrow morning. This is when we're going to start to see, I don't want to say damaging winds, but there will be some stronger wind gusts, 45, 50 miles an hour. It looks like the strongest winds might be right near the Lake Erie shoreline and especially the highest hills of the area. The winds will ultimately die down as we go throughout the morning. This is by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Winds will still be breezy, 30 to 35 miles per hour. And then as we go through the day, the winds will ultimately gradually subside, but we could still see some wind gusts, probably around 20, 25 miles per hour as we end the day at 5 o'clock. National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory for Chautauqua County, and this goes in effect today and will run until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And there's also a lakeshore flood warning as well. Now the whole county is highlighted in green, but it's just for the Lake Erie shoreline communities. Again, with those strong winds coming straight off the lake, not out of the question there's going to be high wave action, and the lake water level is actually still running high. And when we add the winds and that together, it could cause some flooding right near the Lake Erie shoreline. So weather headlines, mostly cloudy through the afternoon. Again, the winds pick up through the day, lasting through Friday. The Bills are back home this Sunday, so if you're heading to Orchard Park to the game, this is what you can expect at taking on the Broncos at New Era Field. So 40 at kickoff, 41 at halftime, and 40 at the fourth quarter. There may be a spotty rain or snow shower through the game, but the majority of the game should be partly to mostly cloudy. Here we go with Future Scan. You can see the model picks up on the idea of a few of those spotty showers through the afternoon. Here comes the presence of the front, so we'll see the influx of moisture with the front, so widespread rain showers throughout the night. Notice as the front moves through, the wind direction shifts more west. That starts to bring in that cooler air, and the model's trying to paint some lake effect rain showers starting to set up across the lake as that colder air rips across the warmer waters of the lake. And then as the colder air filters in on Friday, we'll change a lot of this over to some very light snowflakes, but again, it's going to be light and should not really accumulate that whole much. There's our next system right there. There it is right there. High pressure, whoop, moving on out. And that's the next system that's going to be coming our way. That's the front as it moves on through. Temperatures actually drop through the day. And here's the forecast for the afternoon. We had temperatures today into the mid to upper 40s. We knocked it down lower 40s. We think the presence of the cloud cover is not going to help us too much with the temperatures. Next 7 days of your life coming up. This is the official high tomorrow, 43. That's going to occur very early in the morning. Temperatures will slide through the 30s, will likely end the day possibly around 32 degrees, and then temperatures don't recover much after that. But next week for traveling for Thanksgiving, not looking bad, and we could make a run at 50 come Wednesday. Sports is next. Don't go away.
When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Stay up to date on local news, weather, and sports that matter to you. Plus, subscribe to breaking news and weather alerts from the team that puts coverage first. In addition, watch news as it happens with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network. Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. We are nearing the end of the work week. And green bean casserole, I find it disgusting. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. Tonight, with a 7 o'clock jump ball, the JCC Jayhawks men's basketball team will be on the road against Bryant and Stratton of Buffalo. The men's team is so far 3-2 on the season, winning their last game 98-78 on Tuesday against the University of Pittsburgh at Titusville. They will also have a game on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock as JCC will host Cuyahoga Community College. On Wednesday night, the New York Yankees released center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury has not played in an MLB game since the 2017 season due to a variety of injuries, with them being an oblique strain, a torn labrum, plantar fasciitis, and a shoulder injury. The Yanks picked up Ellsbury as a free agent, signing from the Boston Red Sox in 2013. With his release, the Yanks owe Ellsbury more than $26 million, which includes a $5 million buyout of a 2021 team option. Tonight, with an 8:20 kickoff, the Houston Texans will host an AFC South battle versus the Indianapolis Colts for Thursday Night Football, with both teams having identical 6-4 records. Houston will look to shake off a 41-7 stomping they endured in the hands of the Baltimore Ravens in their last game. Meanwhile, Indy defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 33-13 in their last game. According to ESPN's Power Football Index, Houston has more than a 65% chance to defeat the Colts tonight. The game will be televised on Fox, the NFL Network, and on Amazon Prime. That's it for sports today. Back to Justin and Dakota.
Alrighty, Norm, thank you very much. Well, youth suicide and combating cyberbullying were the center of a nationwide anti-bullying program that visited Falconer Central School this morning. The Sweethearts and Heroes held 3 presentations for Falconer High School, middle school, and elementary schools. Co-developed by Tom Murphy, a former professional MMA fighter and Ultimate Fighting Championship veteran, and Jason Spector, an educator and coach, the series pushes an action-based approach to combat bullying. Now, Murphy talked with students about how they can take a literal ABC approach to the issue. Additionally, Rick Yarsho, you see there, a retired sergeant with the U.S. Army, injured in Iraq with burns over most of his body, gave a message about overcoming adversity and turning a negative situation into a positive one. School principal Jeffrey Jordan says the duo's message is something he hopes his students hold on to.
These guys are excellent. Rick served in our United States military. He has a story to share. He's shown our students that he can be successful and get out there and treat each other with respect and love, and that's really what we want our students to do.
Now, for more on Sweethearts and Heroes, you can visit them at sweetheartsandheroes.com. So certainly a very important conversation, Dakota. And watching it this morning, they've turned it into something kind of fun, I think, for students. Mm-hmm. Certainly they cover a lot of really hard topics in there. They openly talked about and gave cases of young people committing suicide and because of bullying and social irrealities. And certainly, though, at the flip side of it, they really connected with students. They brought them up on stage. They interacted with them, and I think it's a great program. And this is the second year that they went to Falconer School in the last 2 years. So certainly a tradition that it looks like administrators there want to continue to have so that new students get connected with it. So a really great thing for them. And I want to thank the school and the group there for having us this morning.
And I mean, I guess a lot of people don't realize this, but, bullying is a huge issue that, a lot of people went through. I mean, I went through it. I mean, when I was in school because I'm strange. I mean, let's face it, weather people are strange little people. I mean, we're not like everybody else.
And
so,
I don't want to overstep here, but do you mind if I share what you told me yesterday after the show about your voice?
What?
The stuttering. Do you mind if I share that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And so yesterday, Dakota, we actually had an incident. I would consider it an incident. Here on the broadcast where a viewer commented, and again, you can't tell online, right? But they commented about how sometimes Dakota likes to say quite a bit.
Yeah.
And in case you didn't know, Dakota had a stuttering issue, and that's one of the ways that you try to cope with that.
And I know it can get annoying sometimes, but
but you do fine.
Right.
You do fine.
And
with
it's
it.
like
And
sometimes you just can't help it
The
because
one-
it just happens.
The one big thing with this program that they talked about today, which reminded me directly about our conversation we had yesterday after this broadcast, is that the internet makes bullying 10 times more worse.
yeah.
Because it follows you home. It follows these
Yeah.
students home. They have no break. Go back 30 years to when some of these educators were in school. If they had a bully, it was all physical. And they didn't have that follow them home. Now, smartphones, they're great devices,
Yeah.
right? I'm so happy we have them because we're able to connect with you. But the problem is it follows the students home, and their brains aren't developed yet. And that, according to the folks within this program, they say that's one of the big reasons why they turn to suicide. It's because they don't know how to cope with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried really hard today, and I really think their message got across. Hard for me to say, right? I'm not in those students' shoes, but from watching it, and not too long ago was I in that auditorium at Faulkner School, and certainly they connected with the students, and I hope it goes home. And if you're out there listening, please know that suicide is not the option. People love you, and there's way, way, way too much that you'd be giving up. And certainly today they talked about one of the big things is to become a hero and a sweetheart, and that's what we need in this world. There's more people who will stand up for others.
Talk to somebody. I mean, there's no shame in talking to somebody. I still do. I still talk to a counselor because sometimes you just need to talk, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to say hello to David. Thanks for joining us here on the broadcast. Joseph, go Bills, Cody, and Andrew are watching us as well. Certainly let us know what you think about it in the comments, but that was enough Piper from us. I know Dave said it looks like news came in late today. Facebook's been having some issues in sending people alerts. So again, if you know that this broadcast is going to be on, if it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bless you, Dakota. If you know that it is a weekday, we will be here live at noon no matter what. So please make sure you tune in on our 24-hour channel or here on Facebook. If you don't get a notification from Facebook, we'll still be here live right at noon. Maybe at 12:01, depending on your delay.
Exactly, and some other factors too.
Right.
Anyway, so wind advisory in effect starts today, lasts until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Some wind gusts could be near 50 miles an hour. The official high tomorrow is going to occur very early in the morning. We'll slide through the 30s. We'll likely end the day into the lower 30s, and then temperatures don't recover from there. But so far, the traveling week for Thanksgiving not looking too bad. And look at that high on Wednesday. We could make a run at 50.
All right. Certainly, hey, it seems like things are warming up. No snow for Thanksgiving, hopefully. Maybe? Oh boy. He's putting a pin in it, folks.
Wednesday's looking okay. Thursday's dicey. We'll tell you more about it tomorrow.
Jeez. All right. Well, thank you, Dakota. Hello to Joshua. Hope you're doing well. David, he says parents need to be involved in their children's lives more. That would do it. I think that would do it. That's it for us today. We could talk about this all day. More news 24/7, WNYNewsNow.com, and on our mobile app. The broadcast loops right here on Facebook Live and on the 24-hour streaming network. We'll see you tomorrow. Can you believe it's going to be Friday already? Woo, that's crazy. What a week. And then Thanksgiving. It's next week. Have a great day.